What's up, guys? So this is going to be an interesting video, a little bit different, but I'm still going to touch on the topic of retention, guys, and we're going to get right into it. So what I've noticed that with social media, right, I was following a lot of females. I was following a lot of females that are like, have thousands of followers. And some of the pages that you look at, right, they don't even have that many likes, but they have so many followers. A lot of times these people are just ghost followers, or maybe they paid for their followers, right, guys? So you have to understand that social media is not what it's made out to be, guys. I think a lot of guys, they perceive like the views or whatnot are all authentic. Like some are, but not all of them are going to be authentic, guys. So you're going to get all different types of people portraying that they're bigger than they are, right? Let me move this mic a little bit closer. So the truth is, guys, I ended up unfollowing everybody. Not everybody, but just all the women. You know, it's women that are showing their bodies and whatnot. And I realized that's like the first step, right? I think when you ask God for something and you ask Him to be in your life and to guide you into the right directions in life, guys, there's a little bit of struggle. And sometimes you might end up going backwards because, like, it's just easily accessible, right? I'm not talking about you guys out there who have, like, females that are on Instagram or whatnot, or you DM females and you have success with that. I'm not talking about those guys, man. I'm talking about the guys that are like me, that not really like messing around with any females right now, but you're starting to notice like there's a subtle change, right? There's a subtle change in like your demeanor. Maybe it's because, I would say it's because I'm getting older, but I don't think it's even that, guys. Like, there's just something about it, right? There's something that tells you in your mind, like, don't even think about women anymore. Like, don't think about women. Like, just forget about women. Like, unfollow women. Put away all the devices that you have that have corn on it. Like, really get on your grind, like full-fledged, like get on your grind to a point where you're just a different person, you know? Like tonight, this is going to be like my last time kind of really like drinking. To be honest, I'm kind of like celebrating tonight like it's my birthday in a way, because my birthday is so close. But after tonight, you know, I'm gonna just like seriously get into just retaining, guys. Like this is day one, right? This will be day one out of like literally a lifestyle, like literally as long as I can go. I've tried so many times before, and I've noticed like before in the past, I was always trying to force it, right? There was a lot of things that I needed to break free from in the past. And sometimes when you try to like break free from them, they have like that last ditch attempt to bring you back to that very thing. And you might end up downloading the game, or you might end up being kind of like stuck in this like this mode, right? Like you take the bait, but like you don't care for it anymore, right? I downloaded this game called Blackjack that I've been playing over the past, like, I don't know, a year or so. And it's a game playing blackjack, and I had like a couple million, but I noticed with that game, it's like I don't have like the urge to play it anymore, and I don't really care for it anymore. Like, same with like watching videos and content, guys, like the XXX content, guys. Like, I don't care for it anymore. Like, I think you get to a point where you realize, like, you just like consciously realize, like, what are you doing with your time? Like, why am I not like stacking up the bag? You know what I'm saying? Why am I not really just like getting down to the grind? Just, putting my nose to the grindstone and just like just stacking up my money and really not caring about the women, right? It's like, it's not like, right. How can I put it, guys? Like, I know I like kind of stumble sometimes, and I've been drinking a little bit because I've been kind of celebrating, but when I think about it, it's like where I'm at right now, I know there's so much more to it. There's so much bigger for me in the future that this is like a rest stop for me, right, guys? And I'm not saying like that you guys can achieve some of these things too, but you realize where you've been at was just like your nest. Like, it was just like the growth period that you had to go through in life. You had to like experience some things. Maybe you had to, feel out a couple things in your life and really kind of just get yourself organized in a way. It doesn't mean you're perfect, doesn't mean you're always going to like land everything right, but at this stage in your life, guys, for me, it feels like it came late, but that's actually sort of a good thing. Like, everything happens for a reason, guys. Like, that's why not everybody's like a rich, famous rapper. Not everybody's, a famous actor. Not everybody's like, it takes time for that very thing to happen. And you really have to like be like blessed by God, right? God has to bless you with these things in life. And a lot of the times the people who were like beforehand, they weren't really like in the right mind state yet. God had to like change their mind state. So let's talk about changing your mind state, right, guys? Let's talk about what you have to do to change your mind state. So the first thing I did was I put on a sleep mode on my phone, guys. Like, you don't want any distractions at night. Like, right about now, you know what I mean? That probably sounded kind of loud. But right about now, guys, you don't want that distraction, right? The outside world is busy, is buzzing, it's doing all sorts of things. And then on top of that, say if you live like downtown or something, you're going to have even more racket going on, right, guys? So if you want to live, if you want to change your algorithm and do something different, the first thing you want to do is change your mode, right? Change your sleep mode. Set your time, like set a time when you're going to go to sleep. Set a time when you're going to wake up. Set a time when you're going to just be doing your thing, right? So, sleep mode. Another thing is waking up at a certain time. So the sleep mode automatically has an alarm set into it. So you can literally block out all distractions. Now, I mean, be realistic with what you want to do. Like, I've been doing this for some time, but you want to put it to the sleep mode, not only because it saves your battery life, but it's because you want to get away from the distractions of life in general. You can change the settings on depending on like what you have really going on. Since I've been detailing cars, guys, like, I've been more busy recently. That's why I haven't been filming as much. But you want to conduct yourself like a person of business. You want to conduct yourself of a person that like really knows what he's doing, right? And God gives you that strength. God gives you that ability to do these things and like ability to change your way, right? Now, there's certain things that you should definitely get rid of, right? Getting rid of the corn or the content, right, guys? That's a big step. A lot of guys aren't able to do that. Even I'll admit, guys, like, Sorry, guys. It's been a really hot day, man. It was 95 degrees today, so it has been hot. I've been trying to beat the heat, and usually I don't run the AC, so sometimes I'll be running the AC, but just gotta bear with me here. It's pretty dang hot. It's starting to cool down now, so that's the good part. You get to a stage in your life, guys, like where you start to notice that like the small tweaks is what really makes the difference. It's not necessarily making a big like dramatic change in your life. It's about just doing something different, like waking up at a certain time, cutting back on certain things, not watching certain shows, not doing the things that you like to do all the time, not eating certain foods. That's what they mean by like discipline, right, guys? Discipline. And I think people take it too far. People say like discipline is like 7 days out of the week, you don't do anything. I mean, yeah, you can be that way. I think that's okay for some time, like for some months. You could be that way and you could really be like that, but eventually you're gonna like have those urges to like maybe have a shot or something, or drink not a bottle of wine. Usually you don't need to drink that much, especially if you've been going without for a long time. But yeah, it's like you get to a point where you can say, okay, I can indulge a little bit, or I can be out. But say if you did decide to just like quit everything, right? Because I think this is what happens, guys. Like when you're really about to like stop pretty much everything, you indulge, you enjoy yourself, and then at some point you're just like, I don't really have a use for this anymore, so you just give it up. Like you just don't care about it anymore. Like it doesn't get you that dopamine rush. It doesn't get you that high is what people are looking for. A lot of times when I would smoke weed, that's what I was looking for, was the high. I would smoke weed because I wanted to be high. I wanted to be, feeling a certain type of way. But then as you age, like you start to notice that like you don't care so much about that anymore. Like it doesn't really like being high really doesn't really make you feel any better. You know what I mean? It's not even about feeling better, but it doesn't like help you in the situation. Like you grew out of it because it was your time to grow out of it, right, guys? Or not even in growing out of it, but just God has said like you got stuff to do, and like you can't be smoking weed, so you got to put that down for some time. It's not like you'll never do it again, but for the most part, like you can go without it for some time. Same with like TV shows, and same with alcohol and whatnot, guys. What I'm trying to say is to tweak and change your mind state. Changing your mind state is simple as this, right? Let's get into it. I was a little bit too lax. What do you do on the day-to-day basis? Like sometimes we need to write down what we do on the day-to-day basis. Like what do you do when you wake up immediately? Like what's the first thing that you do? Do you just get up and you just lay in bed and just sit there and don't really do much, right? Or do you get up, you already have a plan laid out for your day, so okay, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this, right? So when you're changing your like algorithm, when you're changing your plan, you're changing your mind state, guys, try to do smaller tweaks than bigger tweaks. Like try to change 2 things out of your day, than changing like 5 or 6 things, right? So wake up, take a shower, and then begin whatever you're going to do, right, guys? Whether that be read a book, whether that be, go to work, whether that be, make a YouTube video, whatever it might be, guys, like that's going to be like your plan. You're trying to change your direction, like change your timeline, change like what you're doing on the day-to-day basis, right? to change it, it's going to take some time. It takes about 26 days to form a new habit. So if you want to be on retention, guys, like you're going to have to retain for at least a month to really like lock in. That's why it takes about a month before you notice some of the benefits of retention. It's not just because of the energy that's building up. It's also because that you have, broken free from that habit itself. And it might take more than one time to break free. Like I've gone over 30 days 3 times. But for me, at least, some of those times that I went, like the first time, I would say it was mostly because I was going to work, and because I was keeping myself so busy, right? When you're so busy, you're like moving the energy, but the energy's not being transmuted, right, guys? If you're moving your energy, like the energy's building up, but you're moving it, you're still just building up energy, and eventually you're gonna release. Eventually, there's gonna be a day where you're gonna be bored. There's eventually gonna be a day where you don't have nothing to do, or there's like a moment of like silence, right? Moment of like, I need something to stop this, like, sitting by yourself, like that silence, right, guys? Like that silence of like just your own brain, like your own like mind, right? Like there's nothing, like you don't hear anything, like you're just at home and it's just completely dead silent, like, or you're in like some room or something, like a sauna or something by yourself, and you don't hear anything, like it's just you and yourself, and you're really just having a deep thought. Like that's deep, right, guys? Like you really get deep into your subconscious and into your mind, and sometimes that can overwhelm people because so many people are used to just always this constant noise that's going on, right? Like these, outside world that's constantly feeding you some sort of noise, right? So that since then, since the first streak when I went over 30 days, I've learned a lot from those mistakes, and understanding that boredom is the hardest part of the journey in itself, because you can go 30 days or 40 days or whatnot, guys, but as soon as you get bored, it's most likely you're going to relapse. You're going to relapse because you're conditioned to relapse. You can't just break a habit with 26 days. Is not just going to break year-long habits, right? Like it's not just going to like be done like that, right? Sorry to say it, but that's just what it is, guys. Like it's going to take a couple times for you to really, maybe more than a couple times. For me, it's been taking me for years, guys, like to fully break free from it. But when you have that motivation to break free from it, use it. That's that fire that's in you. That's that fire that's telling you to progress, to go into the flames. That God's telling you, hey, it's time for you to, go on another long streak. And this streak, you're going to, you're really going to embrace the journey like never before. Like you're going to take whatever you've learned before in the past and use it into this present moment and go further than you have in the past, right, guys? Like that's the whole goal. It's not so much getting to a certain day. It's about learning as you fail, right? Learning as you fail over and over and over on your journey to get better. The reason why I preach SR so much, guys, is not because, the benefits or whatnot. Like, that's cool to have, like, women attracted to you, and that's cool to, have the muscle strength, and it's cool to, like, not really have the desire to drink or smoke or whatnot, guys. Like, that's important, too. But I'm just saying that when you stop, releasing that dopamine, you're rewiring it, right? You're rewiring it to use it in a better manner, and it's gonna build your character in a whole nother way. Like you're gonna be a different individual. Like you're gonna talk to people totally different, And the reason why that is not because of the dopamine rewiring either. I mean, like that's a big part, but like it's mostly because it's mostly, I would say, because of the connection with God. God's mostly like a loving person. So if you have that connection with God, like you're gonna be more of like a loving individual, and you're gonna understand people. Like I've noticed like so many more opportunities have came to me, and things that have just shown up in my life over the time, the less I've released and just done something else besides releasing, right, guys? It's like you're breaking free from that habit over time, and the longer you go without, the easier it becomes, right? The easier it becomes to say, no, I'm not going to do that right now, at least, but I'll do it later. Or and don't try to like resist it, guys. Like this is the hardest part for me. Like it sucks to release, like because you don't want to release, like you know what I mean. That's a totally different. It's like you don't hear guys really saying that, right? Like you don't want to release, right? No, you get to the point where you don't want to release. Like you don't want to release, but you're okay with releasing because you understand that if you do release, some of the testosterone is released, so you are in a more relaxed state, and you can kind of like chill a little bit for a little while. But it's not like a permanent state. Like it's better to have retained for some time. Like I would have to say that it's harder to retain for a long time, and if you're forcing it, than to just release. Because if you're just busy, like how I was saying the first streak, like you work 2 jobs, there's really no time for you to release, but you're just moving the energy. You're moving it here, you're moving it here, you're moving it there. Eventually, like that boredom is gonna set in, guys, like, and then you reach a wall. Like there's a wall, there's a blockage, right? There's like a certain point where you reach and you can't get past that no matter what you do. The only way to get past that is through releasing and starting over, right? It's unfortunate, but that's just how it is. So sometimes I look at my journey, to be honest, guys, like sometimes I look at my journey and I'm like, dang, I've been on this for years and I still haven't been able to like go 200, 300 or 400 days or like years without, right? But you got to understand, guys, that if you've had nobody really like guide you in life and tell you not to do these things, it's too easy. You're too I can't even say that word. Susceptible to falling into these debaucherous traps, right? It's almost like a trap. Like, to be honest, guys, they call it a thirst trap, but I don't really like follow any trends or nothing like that, or like wordplay and things like that, guys, but it makes sense. Like, you're thirsty because you don't have like an actual female, so you're on the internet, you see a beautiful woman, now you've released your energy to a woman that doesn't even know you, right? So you're in this constant cycle of doing that. And a lot of guys get trapped like this because it's just so readily available. It's just everywhere, right? It's everywhere. If it's not that, then it's some negative show, right? So it's either fear or it's lust. I mean, you got one or the other. Either you're watching some crazy like news and like people getting killed and war and all this craziness that's going on in this world, or you're like looking at some female half naked on Instagram, or on some other like website, like, or whatnot, right, guys? Or on another social media platform where it's like it's just broadcasting, like, and even if you don't, like, say if you don't look at it, right, even if you don't look at it, eventually it'll pop up in your algorithm just to like kind of like pull you in. You know, it pulls you in by, once you click on it, then now you're gonna have like a whole nother like list of like girls or whatnot on your algorithm. Like now you're gonna see like big booty girls or whatever, if you want to put it like that, right? You're just gonna see that. Like that's how the algorithm gets you. It's like literally like a landmine. Like you stepped on a landmine of like thirst trap. And that's how they steal your energy, guys. Like it's serious, guys. They steal your energy and they use it for whatever they want to use it for, and you're just drained and depleted. They'll even come in there and into your dreams, guys. Like it gets serious. So many guys don't know a lot of this stuff, and the guys that do know this, they understand that like staying away from the content is important. It's a very hard battle, guys. You have to stay vigilant, and I try to like not be so serious on my channel. I try to be goofy and stuff, and talk about just life in general, and just how it can be really kind of complex at times. But you got to understand, guys, like if you want to be the best version, right? If you want to be the best man, like you want to be who you really are supposed to be, like ripped, I won't say like necessarily handsome, guys, because like handsome, that's depending on like the person who's looking at you, right? The beauty's in the eyes of the beholder, right? Is what I would say. But there's lots of women that think that I'm pretty good looking, but I would have to say that another man, whatnot, there's many women that would look at him and say that he's attractive if he has everything right. I mean, maybe not basically symmetry, like facial symmetry wouldn't be necessarily like all there or whatnot, but I mean, if you have all the other things, then of course they're gonna think you're handsome. You know what I mean? They might not think like your face is really the best, but if you got the body and everything else going for you, then hey, you know what I mean? You're still beating like 80% of these guys out here that really aren't trying to do it. Like I'm saying, like older guys, I'm saying not like young guys. None of that really matters, guys. You gotta understand, it's about your energy. It's about who you are. It's about how you treat other people more than anything. If you want something like that's meaningful, if you just want to like mess around, then I mean, you probably wouldn't be on this channel. But like, be honest with yourself, guys. If you want to be the best version of who you can be, you got to retain, and which means you got to go through these battles like how I'm going through right now. It's like now I know that like I can go on this long streak and I can do this because I feel like it's my time to do it. It's difficult for me, at least, not because of the content, is just because it's so easy. Like there's a trigger, right? There are triggers that normally will happen, right? And this is how intense it is nowadays, right, guys? You could have gone months without seeing nothing. You could be retaining a couple months. Maybe it's, you're on a steady, strong streak. Your energy's building up. You feel good. You feel confident. You're moving through life. You're not really like attached to all these shows and stuff, right? You're not really caring about any of that. You're really just focused on your journey and focused on where you're going in life. As soon as you get to like a certain day, right, there's going to be challenges. There's going to be certain things that are going to come into your life, and it is a challenge. Women that will be, in your life or just want to like get to know you. Maybe you're scrolling or whatever on some media platform, and a big booty girl comes up. I don't really like to say stuff like that on my channel, but I'm just saying, like, I try not to like say things like that, guys. But say that you're scrolling and that pops up. Now you're like you're stuck into that thirst trap, right? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna just scroll past it and just like it doesn't even faze you? Because that's how it pulls you in, guys. Like, it pulls you in because you haven't fully broken free from it. I think when you're fully broken free, then the battle really becomes even more stronger. Like, you really have to like it's almost like you don't care, but at the same time it's like a whole another battle becomes of what you used to battle is no longer. So now, like, what you're battling now is like real life situations, right? More often, I need to get this done, I need to do this, I need to talk to this person, I need to mend this relationship that I had in the past, right? Like, certain things like that would have to, you know, get taken care of now that you've already healed yourself with, you know, your lustful or debaucherous acts. Because I can even feel it, guys. Like, when I talk to certain people, like, I can feel that, like, my energy is not all the way there. My energy is not there. Like, sometimes I'd be looking around. It's like I'm looking around to, like, in search of, you know, some female, right? In search of some female to, like, talk to, or in search of some female to just look at, right? But that's the truth. Like, this is the raw truth of retention, guys. And it's difficult because you search for this not out of, like, actually wanting to pursue and have like a family and whatnot, and like be with this woman and possibly like conversate and get to know her and have a good time, right? You search because you have that lustful mind state. Oh, I want to just look. I just want to look. It's not like I want to look for a second and then go and approach. It's not a genuine, like, authentic look, right? Like a look where you're like, she's genuinely attractive and I'm attracted to her, so I might as well go over there and speak to her in order to see what she's about and if we even match up, right? It's more of like a, damn, she looks good, and I want to walk over there and talk to her to get her number to go sleep with her later tonight or something like that. There's a totally different, like, dynamic, guys. Like, that dynamic is changed, and you don't want to be in that situation, like, where you're letting, like, your lower nature control your actions. Your lower nature will take you anywhere in life, and you could be messing around with people you really don't need to be messing around with, like doing some stuff that you just shouldn't have done. Like, so you have to, obviously you have to give it to God. Like I've always said, guys, you got to give it to God and let him guide you out of this murky water of lustfulness, because it's so hard to break free on. You can't break free. Honestly, you cannot. Like, I'll be honest, guys, like all these guys that are talking on these channels and saying that they've broken free, they don't know it. Some of them do, maybe, but they only broke free because God let them break free, because it's such a strong thing to break free from. It's the second strongest thing of our nature, you know. It's obviously the first one is to preserve your life, you know, to stay alive. The second one is to procreate, right? So it's like you can't just break free from the urge to want to procreate and to, you know, search and find a potential good partner in life. Like, obviously you'll still do that, but it's like you want to break free from the lust that's behind it. Like, if you're still lusting, like that's the bad part of it. It's because you'll end up being with your partner, right? Say if you were married or have a girlfriend, you're with her, okay, cool, you're with her, but you're still lusting, so you're going to end up sleeping with somebody else, right? or you're gonna end up, watching some video behind closed doors. And I don't want to, get too far into what I've done, guys, but let's be honest. Like, there's a lot of guys out there who have done things like this and messing around on their female partner, and women do the same thing because it's such a lustful world right now that we're living in. So many people are doing things, behind others' backs, or maybe they're doing things with other people. Who knows, guys? I don't even need to go on this long rant of ridiculousness that we see these days. But what I want to say, guys, is when you break free and you notice like you're getting away from it and you're getting further away from it, you'll notice like sort of like a peace. Like you become more peaceful. Like you become more accepting of what is, right? And then you can finally like understand like what you're supposed to be doing in this world, like, because there's so much static, there's so much stuff in the way of like you understanding where you're supposed to be at. Like, God can't reach you if you're like constantly drinking and smoking and fapping and doing all this debaucherous acts, right? Like you gotta like you gotta break free from that that dark hole that you're in, guys. Like, I know I think a lot while I'm talking, so sometimes I might zone out a bit, but I want you guys to know that you can do it. You can do it. Like, if I've been like trying this for years, never been able to make it a whole year without releasing, guys, but I know that there's people out there who have done it, and many more can do it, then just keep pushing, guys. Don't let yourself get beat up. Like, don't beat up on yourself, right, guys? Don't let like your mind like play tricks on you, right? I think your mind is like the hardest one. Like your ego, you're like, don't kill your ego, of course, right, guys? But just like, don't let your mind try to trick you into believing that you can't make it or can't break free from these lustful behaviors and debaucherousness that you're living in. Like, you can do it. And sometimes you might need extra help from people in the community and whatnot, but I've been there. I've done that. Like, I've talked to communities, and I think it works to some extent, but that doesn't always do it, guys. Like, it's not about that. It's about just being in communication with God and letting Him guide you to where you need to be, where you're supposed to be, guys. Anyways, I know this is a super long video. I usually don't make videos super long like this, but I just had to get this off my chest. And I will talk to you guys on the next video. Enjoy your days. Peace.